Alrighty, this should be live on there now. All right, what is up, YouTube? You guys are my people. Take the last sip of water. All right, first thing we're gonna do is, how do I get people to book appointments from an ad? Miss Ariana. So the thing is, when you're running cold traffic, what are you selling on these ads? You're trying to sell annuities or long-term care on here?
This ad campaign is long-term care. It has like a 4% click-through rate, which I think is really good, but then they're not following up on that click.
What do they land on? What's the landing page?
There's like a video with a bunch of text that's about the same as what's in the video, that's talking about how unpaid family caregivers provided $600 billion in services in 2021 in America, and yet there's still a whole bunch of people dying broke. People are leaving their jobs to go provide care. Like, it's just...
Okay, before we go further in that, are you trying to get them to book a call on the first page?
Yeah.
Can I coach you?
Okay.
Get rid of that. Give them a lead magnet, give them something for free in order to get their contact information in exchange. So give them a checklist, a PDF, a core, like whatever you can do for your people, whatever you built on day one of the challenge, use that to get people to opt in for, to give you their phone, their name, their email address. That way you can reach out to them and call them to book it or text them to book it.
Okay, so my lead magnet that I made was it's a PDF document that has a list of ways backed up by scientific studies to reduce your risk of dementia.
Okay, and you're selling these people long-term. That's a logical sequence for a lead magnet. I'm very proud of you for thinking of that. So great job to you for that. What I would tell you to do is put that lead magnet as an opt-in on the landing page. That way, one, your ad costs are going to get extremely cheap. Warning for all of you running ads, what is coming right around the corner in January? I think the guy was just talking.
IRS?
No, inaugurate, like it's time for a new president. So now we have political campaigning, which are raising my ad dollars up. I have people, career politicians, who have accomplished nothing in their lives other than making bullshit rules and putting people in prison who smoke weed, costing me more money on ads to talk shit about a different president. So understand, we're in political campaigning right now. Your ad cost will be more expensive. And so I would do everything to just get leads as cheap as possible right now for you specifically.
Okay, so...
Collect their opt-in. Stop trying to get a call booked. Quit asking for them to take you home on the first date, essentially.
So just redo the whole page, basically.
Just add a page before it.
Right.
Just add a page before it saying, hey, here's the top 6 mistakes, blah, 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 that keeps you... here are the 6 things that people do that give them dementia. Number 3 will have you forgetting your grandson's name. Opt in. Boom. Give me your contact name. Give me your first name, your email, and your phone number so I can follow up with you and talk to you about long-term care. Transition to that. I bet you'll have much better compliance.
Okay, I do want some continuity between the ad and the page, though.
You want some what?
Continuity between the ad and the page, like, because the ad is saying unpaid family caregivers are contributing $600 billion in services per year, and
I would focus on continuity when you get there in the 4-step formula. Right now, you need to focus on generating 100 leads a month and converting 10 of them into sales.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, guys, did you just see me scale a business from 10K a month to over 100,000 a month? Follow that formula. It works. You guys saw how much I was making on day 2. Did everyone see that? Follow the formula. It works. It works so well, okay? It works. It works. It doesn't matter if you're black, white, fat, skinny, yellow, Asian, American. It doesn't care if you're an alien. It doesn't care if you were born with 14 eyes and 2 backs. Okay? It works for anybody and everybody all the time, every time. Follow it to a T. Don't try to get cute. Like, this is one area I will be direct with my communication. I'm right and you're wrong with that. Follow it because it works. Do what that formula says.
Thanks.
Yeah, so just build a landing page to get their opt-in and then start reaching out to these people manually outbound. So send them a text, send them an email, book a call with them, leave a voicemail, whatever you got to do. Get these people on the phone. Once you have money, you can pay other people to do the boring shit you don't want to do. Referrals from lovely Leslie. When it comes to getting referrals, how many times have you tried asking for them?
Yeah, every appointment that, I sit with and write with.
What are you saying?
Well, I say, hey, I just want to let you know that I also will, get in touch with your beneficiary and, follow up with them and, that's okay. And then kind of go from there. And then I talk about, can give me a couple of people that, you could think of just right off the top of your head that could also benefit from the kind of service that I've given you and peace of mind.
So there's a couple different things I'll tell you here. Is it cool if I coach you?
Yeah. One,
blow their mind, overwhelm them, get them dizzy. Like I said, deliver value. How many of you have ever went to a movie that was like, oh my God, that was so good. I have to get my brother-in-law's fiance to come watch 50 Shades of Grey with me for the third time because it was people did that. My mom and my sister watched that movie like 6 times in theater because they're weirdos. And they brought my other aunt, it was so good they shared it with other people. So one is just, how can I replicate that experience? How can I deliver such phenomenal communication that there's no other option than to share me? 2, I'd change the way you're asking about it. Instead of saying, do you know 1 or 2 people that I could sell a policy? Because that's all they hear. You know more people I could sell a policy to? Say, hey, just out of curiosity, is there anyone in your life that, let's just say I just sold you a policy, Leslie. Hey, Leslie, just out of curiosity, is there anybody in your life who, if they died today or last week, would leave a financial hardship on you? Because now we get them thinking about someone else's risk to them. Like if your son died or anything, like what would happen to you? Would you have to pay his truck off? If you know more about him, you can get more specific with your verbiage. But I'd do that. I'd create another problem that must be solved. Remember, once a loop is opened, it must be closed. The human brain desires completion. Guys, understand that once you solve a problem, it's not solved. It just creates a new problem. That's the journey of entrepreneurship. You're trading terrible problems for slightly terrible, then a little bit better, a lot less worse, and eventually you're like, I'm only doing $1 million a month. Boo-hoo, poor you. So that's the second thing I do. And then third, how much automated follow-up do you have going out? Are you sending a text every 3 months? Hey, we'd love your review on this. We'd love a referral. Hey, happy birthday. Any excuse you have to get back in front of your people, do it. Hey, it's 4th of July and we're blowing insurance out of the sky. I don't know. The only thing that's going to be blowing up today is your family's life when they get all this money from this policy. I don't know. You can make it funny. Comedic stuff always works well. Because death is not a fun subject to talk about. I'm doom and gloom, so I go heavy into the pain. For some of you, that may not resonate with you. That may not work with your personality. You're maybe like, Mason, I just feel icky and disgusted. If it makes you feel icky and disgusted, don't do it. Because you'll never be successful duplicating that. If it makes you feel like a piece of shit using it, don't. This is why I'm trying to get you to understand human nature this week. Because once you do, you understand, oh, everything Mason does, it's actually just natural. It's just a lot. Of course he's using that. It makes sense. That's how your communication should come across. It only makes sense she's asking me to sign here on the policy. I wanted the thing. It makes sense. It was my idea. So those are the 3 things I would do. that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
My pleasure. All right. We have how to generate leads. Victor. So without spoiling the special offer tomorrow, I'm just going to go into, there's a couple things you can do. Are any of you curious what I'm going to be showing you tomorrow? I see some heads now. Oh, what's he got? What's he got? Cindy, Caitlin, don't smile at me, okay? You're going to make me enjoy it more. Anyways, how to generate leads, all right? Hello, Caitlin. Is that a son? Hello, young man. Your mom's a superhero. And you're a booger picker, aren't you, little boy? Sounds like me. How to generate leads. There's only a couple things you can do. Do you know what generating leads is called? Advertising. What is advertising? The process of making other people aware of what you sell. It's letting people know, hey, I'm an insurance agent. And so there's a lot of ways you can do that. One, you can door knock, you can cold call, you can talk to complete strangers who have absolutely no interest in something and they hate it. That's one way. You can just go bother family and friends who don't care about what you have. That is one way. I will argue it's not the best way. I don't like it. A lot of companies have been built very successfully, but the market's gotten sophisticated. People don't want to be sold, but they love buying. And so you can run ads. You can pay Mark Zuckerberg. You can pay Larry and Sergey with Google to run pay-per-click ads, YouTube ads, Facebook ads, TikTok ads. Just don't be one of those scumbag IUL agents who say like, you'll get 20% year over year and you can borrow from this to build a house in the first year. Don't be that douchebag. I will fight every single one of them. Because they make all of us look bad. Like I think they deserve to be shot. Full transparency. Maybe that's extreme. We live in an extreme world. I don't care. They're all wussies anyways. They won't say anything to me. So you can run ads. You can do manual outbound. You can tell people what you do. Or you can post content. Or you can let people you've sold go get leads for you. So posting content means you're spending 4 to 5 hours a day on Facebook interacting with other people, telling them about what you do, answering group questions in groups. You're posting inspiring, educational, or entertaining content. You're creating problems with you're asking people quite literally, hey, have you ever had this problem? I actually get rid of that. Don't come out there and say, I'm a state licensed representative with 34 carat. Don't do all the posturing stuff. People laugh at you. When I see that, when I see agents do that, like I just want to reach, first I want to give them a hug. Because I know they're hurting. And then I want to slap them. What do you mean? 34 carriers? Like, yeah. Too many, what does Matthew McConaughey say? Too many options makes a tyrant out of us all. When people hear you represent 18 million carriers, you know all they hear? Overwhelm. Too many things to choose from. Kind of like when you go to a buffet and you're like, you have 8 different types of fish. I just wanted catfish, but now you confuse me and I'm not hungry anymore. So pick 2 or 3 carriers. That's it. Like, you can run ads, you can post content, or you can send messages to people. You can door knock, do all other stuff if you want. Those are effectively the only things you can do. What I will be showing you tomorrow with the offer, there's something I built for you guys that teaches you how to leverage someone else's life. Meaning, how do you get someone else to work for you and be happy about it? It's pretty crazy because that means you don't have to have anybody in your audience and you can still make a lot of money. You can be a part of someone else's newsletter. If Tony Robbins brought one of you up on his podcast to talk about life insurance and why his audience should buy it from you, do any of you think you are so bad you would not make any sales? Or do we all agree that you probably would quit because of how many people booked calls with you? Like, right? Am I wrong? If Tony Robbins talked about you and what you sold on his podcast, to millions of listeners, let's say 100, let's just say 50,000 people wanted a quote from you right now, you'd say, you know what, Mason, screw you, I quit. I'm done with this thing. It's too much work. I hate you and your perfectly trimmed beard, this white smile, you're such an asshole. How dare you get me this much business? First world problems. But how much, Victor, I'm curious, how many books have you read on advertising? How much time have you spent advertising?
I used to work for an advertising agency or for a digital marketing company.
Did you?
All I sold was marketing.
Did you get them leads?
Well, I used to cold call businesses to sell. I didn't run any of the ads. I just used to cold call businesses.
If you're at a point where you have more time than money, then you're gonna have to spend time.
Yep, that's where I'm at. But
I'd pick up the phone. What I would try to do is make sales as quick as possible to buy my way out of hell. Say, hey, Mr. Devil, I don't want to do cold calling no more. I want to run ads. I want people to message me. I want people to come in through a book a call funnel. How many sales would it take to make that happen? Oh, about 5. The profits you make from one sale are more than enough to get you going. You can scale this industry very quickly, guys. Hey, let me tell you something. Each and every single one of you on here can change your life in the next 7 days. Oh. What I say on day one, like, grab your buckets, y'all. It's raining money outside. Grab your buckets. What are you doing in here with me? And hopefully I've broken enough false beliefs this week about, what was me? Why would they buy from me? Hopefully I've gotten rid of all that BS. But does that answer your question, Victor?
My main question really was because I've been running some Facebook stuff. It's just trying to it was basically just along with Ariana's question, just trying to get people to respond and actually schedule an appointment.
You're trying to go in for the kill too quickly. That's what every other agent does. Listen, guys, general marketing statistics, most of you are going to have brick wall pages, meaning when customers hit your landing page, out of every 100, you might get 10 or 20. So that means you just lost 80% of your traffic due to bad copywriting or a terrible headline. So that means you're going to have to spend more money to fix that problem. That's not what I want you to do. And so I look for the cheapest way to get leads to reach out to. And then over time, I can buy the quality back. And so I'd always start off with a lead magnet or something cheap, or reach out to someone else who has an audience that you could sell to. I'd say, hey, Mr. Tony Robbins, can I sell life insurance to your email list? He's going to say, no, guys, I already have people doing that, or however he talks, okay? But yeah, I'd go back and watch the replay and listen to the same advice I gave Ariana. Put an opt-in rather than booking a call. If I went and asked 100 girls on the first date to come home with me, 98% of them, for me, maybe 90% of them would say no. 10% of them are just waiting to do anything with anybody. Same with your customers. 90% of them do not want to go home with you on the first date. And so I'd settle for a small handhold right now, that way you can get a kiss on the second date. Does that make sense? If you ever wonder why I use so many dating analogies, it's usually because I can make them pretty funny and awkward, and the tension alone will cause you to remember the concept. Do any of you have problems with remembering names? It's because you don't play around, you don't make a good comparison. You have no emotional investment with it. Like, I'm just going to pick on Caitlin for a minute. Look at her last name. When I think of that, the picture that comes to my mind is a Chevy truck with a blondie and her son like riding around on the roof. I will never forget her name. I don't have a name problem. None of you have bad memory, you have bad recall. If it was important, you would remember it. If the first time you met me, I came and I stomped on your toe, you're like, oh, that Mason Van Meter, you would never forget it, okay? So think of how you can do the same thing for your customers. How to get people to realize they have a problem with Teresa. When you're saying that, can you give me a little clarity around what the problem is with that?
I guess, how do you, if they don't realize they have a problem, because I'm like the average middle class person, they, for the most part, probably make enough to be able to pay their bills and make ends meet. But the average, any good parent is going to want better for their children than what they currently have. How do I get them to see that that's a problem that's worth spending money on? And I know that you touched base a little bit, I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before, about making them realize that our solution has more value than their money does. But I guess I'm just kind of drawing a blank, or there's a gap in there somewhere that I can't seem to figure out.
Well, can I coach you?
Of course.
All right, I have to get agreement for everything. So, first off, you know what you never do? You never tell anybody, my insurance policy is worth more than your money, so buy this. That's what you never do. So now that we know what not to do, we can learn what to do. All right? Now, what are you selling?
IULs mostly.
What is the problem that you're solving for?
Maybe I need to have better clarity.
Oh, hang on. What are we finding out here? What are you doing, Teresa? Hang on.
I guess.
You got to be Mother Teresa to these people. You got to know their problems. You got to know when they wipe their ass with the wrong hand. Okay? Here's the thing. You have to show them, what problem does an IUL solve?
Well, it creates like a savings account that.
We're never selling life insurance as investments.
Okay.
I would never sell it like that because it gives the customer unfairly managed expectations. I was just talking about this with IUL TikTok agents coming on there saying, you'll get 20% returns and you'll borrow from and you'll be a millionaire and you can buy a boat and a yacht to impress people you don't care about. It has a zero floor, right? It can't lose money except in fees. So hey, we could just show them what is your money in a bank account earning you? 0.5%? What's inflation at right now? 5? So that means every $100 you have tomorrow it's worth $99.05 or $99.50. The day after that, $98.25. You can show them the cost of them losing money due to inflation and a bad interest rate on their money. The easiest way to do that's with the law of 72. You know what that is?
No.
The law of 72, you guys can all show this to any of your clients. You take any number divided by 72. You take any interest rate divided by 72. And that teaches you how many years it takes to double your money. So the law of 72, what does a bank pay? 0.5% of interest. So 0.5. 72 divided by 0.5. It would take 144 years. That money will never double in your lifetime. And here's, guys, if you're ever going to do something like this, get them to do it on their own calculator. People doubt what they are told. They never doubt what they conclude. Remember? Why do you guys think I had you draw with me today? Anyways, so what is an average rate of an IUL? I saw a lot of them average 5 to 7%? That's pretty standard, right? That would be a reasonable thing to expect. Well, what's 72? Let's just assume it has a 6% interest rate year over year. 72 divided by 6. At least your money's doubling every 12 years now. At least your money isn't losing money. Teach them what the fractional banking reserve system does. Hey, for every dollar you put in the bank, when Mason goes to take a loan out, they give him 10. For every dollar you give the bank, they can spend 10. And so they're making 20, 30% arbitrage on your money and giving you 0.5%, and you're okay with that? So you can teach them the law of 72. You can sell an IUL simply based on interest rates. What else does it solve? There's living benefits involved. You'll have coverage for the rest of your life. It won't run out like that nasty term. Always give your people an enemy. Like, you have to get very specific on the problem that you're solving for your audience, because then you would already know the answer to this. You would know the unique selling point on how you're proposing and propagating this up to your people. You said you're selling to middle class people?
Yes.
This is kind of a dualistic approach with the way, one, I would show them what happens when they lose the other person's income. They will buy on that 9 times out of 10 based on pain. So what that means, if any of you are selling mortgage protection, is one of the easiest things to do. I'm selling to Luis and, get away, fly. I ain't selling to the fly, okay? I'm selling to Luis and his wife. Luis said, I'm the breadwinner, Mason. I bring home the big money because I follow you on YouTube. And he says, I do $5,000 a month. I'm like, dang, Victor, you got it like that? You got it like that, Luis? My wife, she brings home $2,000 a month. I said, okay, Luis, how much are your bills? Like, how much does it cost you to stay alive each month and feed the kids? He says, $3,000. I said, what? Word? So you, together, are making $7,000? Like, round of applause, Luis. So you're telling me you're left over with $4,000 a month? Where do you put that? Underneath the mattress, in a shoe? Like, I'm just playing. You don't have to answer that. But like, I'm just curious. You're telling me you save $4,000 a month? Nah, not quite that much. What do you save a month? Oh, about $2,000 a month. Where does the extra $1,000 go? Oh, alcohol, cigarettes. You know me. Got to go throw darts with the guys on Saturday. I'm just making this up, Luis. I know you're way better than throwing darts on a Sunday, okay? Because there's nothing worse you could be doing on a Sunday. So you have $2,000 left over at the end of each month. Awesome. Now, Luis, just out of curiosity, right? Your bills are $3,000. God forbid you died yesterday. Your wife loses your income, right? Now, just answer me one quick question. How long can she afford to stay in the house and keep paying all the bills and keep life the way it is? And you're going to say, oh, well, when you point it out like that, not very long. How long is it not very long? 30 days. See, you're telling me that if we didn't get something to prevent this from happening, your wife would be homeless in 30 days potentially. Yeah, I guess I never thought about it like that. Most people don't. That's why I'm here for you. So I just have a quick question for you, Luis. The policy that I'm going to recommend to you is $3,000 a year. Now, what's 3,000 times 12? 36,000? Luis, which one of these would you rather pay? Which one do you think Luis is choosing? It's that simple. I mean, does everyone see how I just did that? I just built the value up in front of you in your very eyes. Now, I would obviously spend a lot more time going into what's going to happen. What does she have to do? Go hard on that. Peel the onion back. Make them cry. If they cry, they buy. I'm not saying that to be rude or anything like that. I'm just saying if you get someone that deep emotionally, they're invested now to getting rid of that anchor from ever happening again. They will pay to remove the pain that you made them feel. Because which one's more expensive? Hey, the policy's only $3,000 a year or $300 a month. Or when you're gone, your wife can try to come up with $36,000. At least with my policy, when you die, it gives her $100,000. Which one do you think she wants? To pay $36,000 or get $100,000? So you can show them how much it costs to not do business with you. Most agents will never do this. They always show, hey, look, this policy is only $200 and it's going to do this for you, and it's going to be your peace of mind. No, show them the cost of not doing business with you today. Does that make sense? Does everyone see how I just did that? Is anyone confused? Or was that pretty cool? Who's ready to go try this on a sale? Yeah. Does that answer your question, Teresa? The concept is irrelevant. Just understand how the product fits into their removing their problem. Most of them, if they're middle class, they depend on one income primarily to pay the bills. And without that, is where the need for our policy comes in, because most people would be homeless within 45 days. I know that for a fact. Once you get them to say that to themselves, though, my wife and my little boy are going to be homeless. Once they have to sit in the pain of that, especially men, oh, what a pride wrecker. What a pride wrecker. And then the next day, she doesn't make him food or anything anyways. He goes right back to normal, but at least they bought a policy. Does that answer your question, though?
It does. Thank you.
My pleasure. How to get opt-ins, Caitlin. So you're sending people to a landing page. Are you trying to get them to book a call on the... Are you trying to close on the first date as well, Caitlin?
Actually, no. So we have different campaigns, but primarily it's just the one of they're getting a free ebook. So it only asks for their name, email, name, phone number, and then click I agree, sure.
Who are you selling to and what are you selling?
Right now that campaign is final expense.
What are the other campaigns?
So I do have Medicare ones, and ACA ones.
Which campaign performs the best?
Well, they're starting, so it's final expense is the one that's getting the most clicks right
I'd focus on one before you start trying to introduce other variables. You're trying to ride a horse, a goat, and a donkey all at the same time. So I'd pick one and stick with it for one. When it comes to getting opt-ins, you have to think, you've been through the challenge so far. Do you know the group of people you want to serve? What specific problems they have? What they walk, how they walk, how they talk? Do you know who that is?
Yes, I think my biggest thing is I'm trying to do so many different ones that I'm I want to serve everyone, So
You can't. An offer for everyone is an offer also for no one. If you try to sell to everyone, no one will buy. If you talk to everyone, no one listens. So I'd pick one because I'm guessing most of your final expense clients will probably turn into Medicare or ACA.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I'd cross-sell on the back later. But for right now, I just focus on final expense is probably going to give you the lowest cost up front.
Mm-hmm.
What else? What ebook are you giving them?
So there's two different ones depending on which one they click, but the final expense one is just what is final expense, what does it cover, and brings out some of the reasons why people want final expense and the simplified process of getting. Just basically it's an information. It's kind of boring ebook, but it's just a way.
If it's boring, do you think they're going to want it?
I don't think they're going to read it, to be honest. There's so many ebooks that I request. I just want their information to put in. That's it. And then they're getting their ebook.
Can I coach you?
Yeah.
Quit trying to be a cheap date. You're trying to shortcut effort. And these people, they're like, how dare she waste my click? I trusted her enough to at least say I was going to go on the first date. And when I got there, she wasn't dressed nice. Like the food, like it was she tried giving me hotel lobby food from that morning. Make something that you could actually sell for a profit and give that away to these people.
Okay.
Don't be cheap on the front end. Because if you have to drag them in, you're going to have to drag them through. Those are terrible clients for one. And their first impression of you is already shit. So make something that would actually solve an immediate problem of theirs. Give them an actionable insight. Remove a fear out of their life. Give them a quick win on something. It could be something as simple as, hey, here's a simple PDF checklist of 12 things you can do to save $1,000 a month for whatever target audience, blah. They're like, wow, she did save me an extra $1,000 a month. Well, hey, since I saved you $1,000 a month, I'm only going to ask for $100 a month of it with this policy. Now give it to me. Then you can strong arm them all you want. But in all reality, like, give them something that's actually valuable, something you could sell for a profit. And I'll tell you this, most people value their contact information at around $20. So as long as whatever you're making is at least $20 in perceived value, they'll exchange contact information. But why not try to blow their mind from the very beginning? And you've got the impetuousness of youth on your side because you're selling to older people. And so maybe I'd think of something you could give to them for free that will solve an immediate problem. I'd write out every problem they have, see which one you want to solve that's going to be low cost to you and high value to them, give it away. And if you're like, that sounds like a lot of work, welcome to the insurance industry. But I'm saying, why would you not want to blow their minds? Why would you not want them begging you for a second date? Like look, this money saving hacks thing was so good. Like I want her, I almost feel obligated to give me money because it mattered that much to me. Just reciprocity, my friend. You're talking to a generation of people who grew up in, parents in world wars and shit, and they lost their father to a cannonball on the USS Marianas. And think of the people you're talking to, what they value, what their culture was, how life was in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 40s, 30s. I'm not sure what age group you're actually selling to, but I'm assuming most 90-year-olds on Facebook, but then I realized my great-grandma's on there and drama knows no age limit. And she's like flipping people off now. She's mean. She's mean. But yeah, just give something valuable away that actually took effort to create. Does that answer your question?
Yes.
I promise you that will take you unparalleled heights right there. Hey, just out of curiosity, have one of you got help from somebody else's questions? This is why I don't do one-on-one coaching anymore. Because then I'd have to answer the same question. Oh my Jesus. That'd be so much extra work. That's why group stuff is always more valuable. Because one of you in here has asked a question that someone else was too scared to ask, or they never would have thought to ask. So, that is good. 90% attrition, show up rate on calls. Luis, what do you got going on here, brother? My brother from no other? What do you got going on?
It's like they just like clicking the ads just to see what happens on the back end, and then they don't show up, and they go through, they schedule an appointment, and then by the time I get to them, they are nowhere to be found.
What are you running ads to?
What am I running ads to? Oh, they're final expense ads on Facebook.
Like inline form on Facebook? Is it a form field on Facebook, or does it go off platform?
No, it doesn't go off platform yet. It just basically, it grabs whatever data they put into Facebook and it goes right in. And then they have the option of scheduling an appointment.
How many leads are you generating a day?
I'm generating approximately 10, I think it's about 10 leads a day, between 7 and 10.
This will be a really important lesson for you all. Has anyone from any IMO, besides these bullshit dialing statistics, if you spend $500 and get these 5,000 aged leads that have been blown, if you call them 6,000 times, you'll get 2 pickups. I'm not talking about those statistics, but I'm saying, has anyone actually walked any of you through real marketing numbers and what you can actually expect from strangers online, like conversion ratios? So some of this I'll be going over in the Offer Friday, but like, understand, for every 100 leads you generate, what was the formula I showed you guys earlier? You can expect to convert about 10% of them. How fast can you generate 100 leads? You're generating 10 a day. That's what?
30 a month. 10
300
days, yeah, 300.
300 a month.
Yeah.
Now, your conversion ratio on the front end of something like this, especially, what I gave you earlier is like going to be more qualified. You can expect a conversion ratio of 2.5 to 5%. So that means for every 300, you're maybe going to book 25 calls, somewhere around that, 30 calls a month. 15, 20 calls a month. Does that sound about on par what you're doing now? A couple call or 2 a day?
Yeah.
How did I know? So one, you can either raise the quality, so you can pay more for a better lead. And so I would send, here's the thing, you can either work volume or quality. I can go on a date with 10 ugly girls or with one really pretty one. I want the one pretty one. Okay? So I'm going to pay more slightly per lead to get a more qualified lead through click commitment. If they're willing to go off platform and click more buttons, that shows me they're more apt to want the information, stuff like that. So I'm going to lean heavily into that. I'm going to be looking at where I'm getting the leads. What is the ad creative? Is it a static image or a video? Image?
Right now it's static image.
Try video.
I'm trying videos. I tried videos and it had some. It was pretty good. And so now I'm trying this.
Well, you don't try videos, Luis. You just make them. You try ice cream. Mm-hmm. How long did you use the videos?
I want to say 2 months. I ran the ad for those ads for like.
How many of you have saw my ads on Facebook? They're on there all the time, aren't they? Like everywhere you go, I'm just right there, looking at you. Why do I keep ads going? Because they're profitable. And they work. No one's going to keep an ad on that doesn't work. When it comes to videos, how often do you think I find winning videos for my ads? You want to know the real ugly truth? 2 to 4 out of every 100 that I shoot, I can do something with. They make me a profit. 96 to 98 of them, 98% of my ads break even or just lose. But now I know what ads work and I just keep recreating the same ones in different ways and they work every time. So I'd say, how fast can you go make 100 video ads, put different things out there? And before you just go make 100, I'd start off with 10 to 15, test a couple, see which one has the best click-through rate, make a couple more versions of that, and you keep testing and testing and testing based on what's already working. You just recreate more of what's already working. You don't try something new every time. Videos will get you higher quality leads because the person had to sit there. And here's the thing. Here's where you will make most of your money is retargeting. You will retarget an audience of people who watched at least 25% of your video. Some of you may have seen my retargeting ads. You came on my website for whatever reason, you came on a funnel and you didn't give me your money. And so then I followed you around on social media and I said, what are you doing out here fishing? Like, I saw you on my funnel and you didn't buy. Like, why? And I break a false objection. I break a false belief. Then I get you to come back on. The ads are cheaper and they're 10 times more profitable through retargeting. So this is all to get data when you're advertising. But the show up rate, a lot of it starts with the ad. What type of messaging is on the front end? Because I guarantee you, so for every 100 leads on final expense, you can expect to convert around 2.5 to 5%. So you'll make 3 to 5 sales for every 100 leads you get. That's just based on what you're currently doing, Luis. And so if you increase the quality, you can get up to around 10%. And then you're on benchmark to do what I talked about earlier, right? So let me just focus on doubling the leads. And then you double the conversion, because then you can pay more to fix the quality issues, fix the messaging and stuff like that. But the ad, this is your hook from your fishing line to get them into your funnel, into your world, whatever. You're going to send 100 clicks to this. They're going to go to a landing page. Or here's the ad. 100 people click on it. They go to the landing page. You're going to lose 80% right here in this bucket, this black hole. So that means for every 100 that see this page, only 20 opt in. Now out of that, maybe this is a lead magnet. So button, video, blah, 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 ebook. Here's the book a call page. You might get 5% of these people, so 2 or 3 people, like 3 to 5, to actually end up doing something with it. What I'm trying to do with retargeting and remarketing is push people to the next step. Say, oh, you didn't want to opt in? Don't worry, I'll show it to you somewhere else. There's one thing you can do. There's a workaround around that. But this is why ads can be terrifying if you don't set it up right, because they'll just lose you money. And so what I'd be looking at doing is making sure the messaging is congruent all the way through. Because if people are talking about final expense right here, then they see an ebook that makes no sense. What? If I wanted to get them to opt in for an ebook, I'm going to talk about the ebook over here, not final expense. I'm not selling anything on here but them clicking on the ad. You're selling the click over here, not the policy. Say this with me. I'm going to sell the click. Okay? I'm going to sell the click. That's right, Cindy. I'm going to sell the click. Sell them clicking to come off platform. So if you're talking about final expense and you're trying to get them to go to a lead magnet, it's not going to make sense. If you want to improve the show up rate, you can either send more traffic through so you can spend more money on ads. I'm going to give you a very simple answer. Either spend 2 to 3 times more than what you're doing right now and you'll 2 to 3x the throughput, or you can get better on the front end and spend the same amount. Because if we fix our messaging, we could go from 20 to, let's say this, our ad gets better measurably, and now 200 people click on it for the same price. And instead of a 10% opt-in, we have a 20% opt-in. Now 40 people just came through. Like, everything doubles throughout the funnel. Now you're booking 10 calls a week for the same price you were booking 3 to 5 a week. Like, the ad message just has to be congruent all the way through. Because if not, they feel bait and switched. They're like, you brought me with a piece of fish right here and you're trying to sell me chicken? What is this? Is this making sense? Like, is this landing with you? The congruency is so important. If you look at my ads, I'll say, I made some ads the other day with this book. I say, what's a thing? What's one of the ads? Hey guys, in Sun Tzu's book, he talks about building the enemy a golden bridge to retreat across. As a life insurance agent, I always wondered, how do I do this in sales? Well, after a year of struggling and joining countless coaching programs, I found a way to take what I was learning from this book and actually apply it to insurance sales. What I did was I built a profit framework that when you use it, it gives you the strategy and the tactics to know what to say, when to say it, and how to say it that get customers on demand. If you want the profit framework, that way you can get rid of whatever script you're currently following that's getting you crappy results, click the link below and I'll see you over there. What would you be opting in for? The profit framework, right? What I'm not going to do on the landing page is say, hey, book a call with me to buy one of my coaching programs. I'm going to say, hey, here's the profit framework. Now listen, this is going to help you make this many sales. I'm going to show you how to use it. But what happens if you don't have anyone to sell to? Do you see how I just gave them what they wanted and now I'm selling them what they need? I know most people, like if they follow the profit framework, they'll make money. What is the problem most insurance agents have? They don't have enough people to get in front of. And so I'm going to sell them the answer to that. I already solved your first problem though, so you naturally trust me, right? Well, if you've solved my sales problem, you can probably solve my lead problem. Do you see how I did that with the ad though? Hey, opt into my script. I'm going to give you the script, and now I'm going to give you an opportunity to fix your lead problem as well. Does that make sense? Do you see how that's a logical progression? A lot of you were saying, here's final expense, ad. Here's your ebook over here looking all sexy. You done spent money on Fiverr to get it edited. You're like, and people are like, what is this? It's like, did you trick me? No one wants to admit that, but that's how they feel. Does that make sense to all of you? Did you learn something cool? Are you actually going to use it though? Yeah. Have I made things like simple for you guys to actually go out and implement? Awesome. You guys are the best. All right. That is everyone's questions answered. Does anyone have anything last minute? If not, me and the dogs are going to go celebrate with some raw steaks. Cindy, it's actually good. Okay. Thank you. What is it?
Real quick. So I'd like, and you don't have to do this today, it could be tomorrow, it could be the Saturday. I'd like an example of how you would use an embedded command in a close, and then also as an objection rebuttal.
I can teach you that in 2 seconds. Here, you guys can steal this from me, okay? You ready? And once I teach you this, you can't unlearn it. Do not hold it against me tomorrow. You've heard me say some of this throughout this week. I'll see if you guys can catch it first. Hey guys, I just finished up Sun Tzu's Art of War book again. There is one thing he talks about in here. He says, strategy without the tactics are the slowest road to victory. Tactics without the strategy are the noise before defeat. And that just kind of blew my mind. I was like, what if I had a sales strategy that got people who were uninterested in insurance to get interested in buying it was their own idea? Well, after a year of struggling to find out exactly what to say, what the strategy was of selling, what the tactics were in selling, I found out exactly what to do in a repeatable process that any agent can use, just like you and me, that if they follow this framework, they would sell 9 times out of 10. So that could be the ad or something. Now, as I'm going through teaching this, I would slip in one thing. Are you getting this? Hey guys, I just finished up Sun Tzu's Art of War book, and he said there's one concept that I just wanted to share with you. He says strategy without the tactics are the slowest road to victory. Tactics without the strategy are the noise before defeat. Like, are you getting this? Are you with me? Now, I had to wonder, like, what does that presuppose? Are you getting this? Hey, are you buying this? Are you clicking this? Are you getting it? It's a suggestion. It bypasses. I can't just come out and say, hey, are you buying this? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So when you're teaching what your offer and what your product is, just, hey, are you guys getting this? Are you with me? Does this make sense?
So, because like you're saying, are you getting what I'm laying down? But you're also saying, are you buying this thing? Like, are you getting this? Like,
Are you getting this? Are you getting... After they say that 100... Look, Leslie's head been nodding yes all damn week because I've been doing this all week. Guys, go back and watch the replays and your heads are all doing this the entire time. Yep, 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 yes, 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 yes. That's all you're saying. After you've said yes 100 times, do you think if I ask you something on the 101st time, your answer is going to be no? For some people it will be. Look, Cindy said yes by saying no. There's different ways you can phrase this. And you're not opposed to that, right? Hey, are you getting this? Are you with me? Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Are you tracking? Are you following? Are you with me? Those are embedded commands. Because it presupposes, are you getting this? It's vague. It's a vague command. Are you getting what? Your brain cannot reject what it cannot detect. Go back and watch any of my webinars, especially if you've bought. And you'll be like, that's what he did right there. There was one webinar I went back and watched a recording. I asked, are you getting this about 80 times? Literally. You getting this? Are you getting this? Are you getting this? Are you getting this? I just beat up their unconscious mind. Like it bypassed all critical thought process. All the brain hears is, are you getting this? It doesn't hear anything it's not picking up the command in the entire sentence. Is this making sense? Yeah, it makes total sense to buy, Mason. What's a presupposition? Does that make sense? Yeah. Does that answer your question though? Okay.
Thank you.
So that's all you guys have to say. Hey, are you getting this? Just don't be blatantly obvious about it. Don't be going for the close and hey, are you don't make it weird. Okay? Be a human, be normal, don't be weird. I need to start using it on dates. Talking about the tab. Hey, are you picking this up? Are you picking? That's good right there. It only makes logical sense for her to pay for my dinner at the end of it. Oh man, that's funny right there. All right, well, I hope you guys enjoyed day 4 as much as I did. I love you all. Keep being awesome. If you need anything else, and like I said, go leave your testimonials in the Facebook group. That way I can watch them, okay? I see all of you who haven't. And I'm coming for you. I'm uncomfortable on camera. You're going to be uncomfortable on the phones too if you don't fix it now. I'm giving you a chance. All right, so can you guys all make a promise to yourself you'll leave an unbiased review for the challenge? Yeah. That way you can proclaim to yourself what you got out of it to make it real, okay? I've got enough marketing videos. I don't need your testimonials. I've got plenty of them. I want you to do it for you. You are what matters this week. So, love you all. Keep being awesome. I'll see you tomorrow for day 5.
Thank you.
Woo! It's been a great week. YouTube, peace out. I love you guys as well.